Well, while we wait for Tiberius to come back, Rose, would you like to do anything, Dacian?
Sure. So with the healing magic, Rose comes back to not so doing. And at first, it almost looks like they're going to like take that that dramatic breath when you're like being resuscitated, but then it's like, oh wait, I don't have lungs anymore.
Yeah.
So they just kind of awkwardly pause and just sit up and look around. It's like,
Various sighs and relief. Are you alright?
Being mindful of the splash zone, Dacian is going to walk over to check on Rose.
The thing is definitely in a giant. It's no longer the shape of a snake. It's now literally just a bumpy puddle of goo and
Yes,
ick.
it's a splash zone.
It's a slash zone. Yes. Good job, Mouse.
Rose rubs a hand over one of their temples. Did we get the abomination?
Yes, but are you alright?
I haven't dissipated into atoms just yet.
If you need some support, Balua can aid. I don't know quite how your physiology works.
That kind
Flix
of
is
makes two
mostly
of us.
keeping an eye over. Rix is mostly Flix is keeping an eye over Rose, just in case he needs more healing.
Yeah, Rose will stand back up. Oh. Well,
Tiberius, go ahead.
I'm gonna make a small proclamation. This is the first and last time I take up guard duty.
Various chuckles. And can I use prestidigitation to help clean him off?
Sure.
Yay!
It's incredibly easy to do. It's more like an oily substance, but it slides off easy enough with prestidigitation. Just give him a little power wash of magic.
Does it like leave his skin glowing and moisturized?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Nothing like the blood of the innocent.
That was one time.
Rose,
Also, Tiberius, you do get a sample of the creature. It's mostly goo and liquid now.
Really?
It's a disgusting, veiny, blobby, gooey mess. But yeah, you're able to get a sample of it.
while that's happening, Rose is just going to intently look at the creature there and just try to ascertain how the fuck did that thing do that to this guard to make it into this monstrosity?
As you ponder that, something comes to mind. You know, especially Daisy, and you know this as well. As in fact, you both are starting to think this as you're looking at this thing dissipate. It was almost as if it was a monstrosity. It was a monstrosity form of primordials, but it was formed in multiples of them. But you know that sometimes when a primordial loses their way, they become a monstrosity of themselves. This time it looked like it was forced. These monsters, you know, is the impure. But for some reason, this one was weaker than most of the ones you've seen, but it's also more solid. Rose, coming to this conclusion, you realize something horrifying. Whatever that mage did was able to force the impure transformation on not just one primordial, but 5.
Rose. I'm
Prism
sorry.
seems to have been sitting. Prism is sitting back, kind of just watching everything.
Rose just kind of doing the mental gears, slowly turns back over to Various. Before that thing bamfed away or whatever. You're familiar with that creature, aren't you?
Maybe. I'd prefer that we get things wrapped up before we talk about it. Would
Rose,
that be agreeable?
Rose nods at that.
Dacian will step over. So long as there's no more surprise family members turning up.
He snorts.
But yes, there seems to be nothing more standing between you guys and the portal to fire.
Rose kind of glances between Dacian and Various. When we get to the castle, we need to tell Leonard about this. That creature, whatever it was, it basically slightly twisted the laws of physics, even as far as being the planes here goes. And that's kind of a big goddamn problem.
If I didn't know better, I'd say it was... He hums to himself.
Right, well, no reason to stand around here and think about it. We have got a creature to deliver. Let's go.
Prism is following Tiberius.
Honestly,
Mostly because it's trying to get at more treats that he might have.
honestly,
so it tries to
is
stick
every
his nose
day
into his pockets.
is every day in your planes as exciting as this? I can get used to this.
Okay. Flix will be following along. He kind of definitely sidesteps the puddle, gives it a nice wide berth. Doesn't want to get his boots into that. And as you all approach the portal, you feel a very strong heat emanating from it, almost overpowering in a way. It's almost as if you're staring down the face of a raging fire.
I think I would prefer the monster at this point.
Just for the record, I will not hold it upon any of you if you clench your eyes shut while diving through there.
I mean, it's not like we're taking them to matter.
Good point, let's go.
Alright, let me find some sounds. Nope, that doesn't work. I need, where is it? I could have swore I had it saved somewhere. Here it is. Hopefully this plays. Nope.
Yo.
It won't let me do longer than 3 hours. God damn it.
What are you looking for?
I'm just looking for crackling fire sounds. Hold on. How about this one? Nope.
Is rhythm being painful?
Yeah, it's being painful.
You said you can't do more than 3 hours?
Alright, I found something. Hold on. That isn't 3 hours. Oh, I clicked the wrong one.
Volcano sounds for sleep. Oh boy.
It's actually what I was looking for. Nope. Too long.
I sent you one. It's too
Here
hard.
it is. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay.
Is that right? Nope. Nope. There we go. This will be a little bit of theater mind until you reach a certain spot, because I forgot to prepare a slide for this. As you pass through the portal, you all sort of shimmer through it almost as you're going through a veil of water. And immediately on the other side, you are shown a scenery that seems to be the inside of a massive volcano. You're standing on a platform that basically turns into a ring as you look out further, and it looks to be the ring of a city around the crater of this volcano. In the center, you see a huge obsidian structure, almost like a citadel of sorts. And to your right, you see what looks to be a set of stairs leading down toward the lower ring, where it looks to be that you're able to access a massive bridge that leads to the citadel. Which way do you go? For the outsiders, it definitely is a little toasty here. You're sweating, but you do notice that there is steam vents all around you, keeping the area at a decently survivable heat.
Hey, better than the last time we went through here.
Excuse me, I just gotta get this out of my
Oh.
system right now. Toasty!
Is this absolutely necessary that it be this unbearably warm?
Ugh, I think they're
Like I
keeping it
said.
as cool as they can.
Just be glad it's not matter.
At least the ground's not going to try to eat you.
Alright, so we
As
see... Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
I was gonna say, so we do we see the castle from where we're at?
Yes, you do. It's down on a lower tier. You're currently on the second ring of the city. There's a total of 3 rings from what you can see. You're sort of on the middle ring. There's plenty of buildings, businesses around. There are people out and about, though. There are guards, but they don't seem to be giving you guys much attention.
Rose just goes over to Prism. I assume Prism is probably still with Tips right now,
Yes.
but we'll kind of go around Prism to the other side there, and just kind of gently put a hand on the back of Prism's there. Almost home. Almost home.
Anyway, not wanting to really stay in the heat for too much longer, you guys begin to head down toward the stairwell leading to the lower ring. It doesn't take very long to get down there. It is a little warm when it comes down to Porflix, Varius, and Tiberius, but you guys managed to make it down with minimal amount of sweat. However, you notice that the bridge is leading to the citadel is over a huge lake of magma. It's a little daunting, but you guys start to make your way over the bridge, which holds up remarkably well, even though it's much, much warmer over here due to the fact that the steam vents aren't coming through this area. So you have to walk a little quicker to get to the interior of the castle. And surprisingly, the massive obsidian doors open for you as you approach. Inside are huge hallways made of what seems to be darkened rock, stone. Most of them seem to be almost formed from lava that was dripping from the ceiling or being formed into pillars. There's fiery red rugs that lead down several different halls, and massive pits of fiery lava in the ground itself, but are easy enough to avoid so long as you stay on the path. You are met with a few guards on the way in. They don't seem to give you much mind and kind of give you a wavering glance as you pass them by. Through the halls, you continue on, following basically a red carpet that has flame motifs along the side of it, until you reach the throne room. Once you reach the throne room, you do indeed, Rose, see Leonard sitting on his throne, kind of talking with a woman who is, or at least a female-looking figure, who is in a magenta-colored coat with long icy blue hair and blue skin. The moment he sees you all enter, however, he does perk up. What do you do?
Rose just kind of, very obviously wearily, just kind of tosses up an arm in kind of a casual wave to Leonard. Leonard, we got your package here.
Kind of seeing this, his ears kind of go up, but he also does notice the rough shape everyone else is in. His look of surprise and glee turns into one of worry, as he kind of waves the woman to the side as she stands by the throne, and then gets up and approaches all of you. It's like, That's well and good, but what happened to you? You look like you got into a fight with a bear.
More like a serpent.
Pardon?
Serpent, snake, thing that crawls on its belly.
You got into a fight with a serpent? Where?
Various
Leonard?
steps forward. There was something going on. There wasn't much we could do to save them. But there were mages of a sort in the underworks. Is that right? He looks up to Rose.
Yeah. And the Commons and the Foundry.
And he nods. And they killed several of your kind and did something terrible to the corpses of 5 of them. And
Leonard
he
is quiet for several moments. He'll motion for the woman to come forward, and then motions the Prism's like, please take our guest to their chambers. And she does this that. She kind of moves over to Prism and will gently nudge the beast along before leading her down one of the hallways to the side. Leonard, however, looks back to all of you. You said mages. What were they wearing?
Bluish white robes, I believe.
He nods and his ears fall. He'll look at Dacian and Rose to kind of confirm this.
Rose.
Dacian will nod and then give a look at the rabbits. It seems a couple of our companions were familiar with at least one of them, though.
Well, that's not uncommon, really. What you ran into were, sounds like members of a faction of mages who are quite... Radical is definitely the word. Fanatical, cult-like in a way. But they've made it their mission to cause havoc and attempt to control or destroy the planes.
Yeah, speaking of control, yeah, so one of the more particular ones, that group, the one that Dacian was referring to, they basically wrote up a bunch of their souls together and plopped an impure in our way. You wanna know why we're late? That's what.
If it was possible for Leonard to become paler than he already was, he would be. In fact, his hair almost dulls in color as he hears this from you. It's like, that shouldn't be possible.
Yeah, I know!
Mouse perks up on Dacian's shoulder. I mean, it got goopy, so, but yeah, it definitely was the thing.
This is very bad, for one. This shouldn't be possible by any laws of the planes at all. That should have been stopped. That's... I'll have my elite guard look into dealing with the bodies, but... we need someone to look into this mess. We need to find out why. Who.
Various reaches over to gently push Tiberius forward with his vial.
Leonard will look over to Tiberius. It definitely looks like he's having a bit of an existential crisis, but he does look at the vial and will kind of take it from you and swirl the vial around. It's like, no, that is impure matter, but that shouldn't.
They
takes
had
a
a
breath.
lantern of sorts. It's what they used, along with magic, to
I've never
stick
heard of
them
such a
together.
thing. He does seem to hand the vial back to you, Tiberius, before looking to Roche. Dacian looks to Flix, then to both Tiberius and Various. It's like, what I'm about to say does not leave this room. Understood?
Rose nods.
Various nods.
Daisy will nod.
We have been witnessing several anomalies in the planes lately. It started as glitches, in a way. Things not appearing as they should, things being displaced, things being reverted to states that they should not have been. And it's recently gotten worse. We don't know why. We don't know how. The storm you saw over the Foundry was one of said glitches. I have no doubt that the Guild is behind this. I know it seems like a lot. You've been through hell. I understand that. But I'm asking you all this. Someone needs to get to the bottom of this. You have personal experience. Without a doubt, they're going to be coming after you. So, if you will you help me look into this further?
There is a matter of my friend and I needing and being promised.
Oh, I know. I'm aware. I can help you with that. I know who you can talk to. But I need your help as well.
Could we be given some time to recover and talk
Oh,
amongst
yes.
ourselves before deciding?
Yes, of course. I know. I wasn't going to send you out immediately. Hold on. I need to type something out for East. Alright, sorry. But, Leonard would then look at both you, Tiberius and Various. It's like, well, of course, I'm not going to send you out directly. You've looked like you've been through the ring, and of course, you need time to recover, and you need to return to Auntie to tell her the job well done. Bear in mind, I have a shortcut. You will not have to trek all the way through where you came from and potentially risk being caught by the gods that are not under my control. But he will look at Rose and Daisy and is like, what of you two? Will you help me? I cannot tell this to some of the other lords. What has happened here cannot leave this room. This means we cannot tell Mataract, we cannot tell Ion, no one. Because there is no doubt the news will reach from them, and it will spread and cause a panic.
Panic is generally bad, yes, and it would probably play into whatever they're doing all too well.
Too well, I'm afraid. I wouldn't be surprised if they left the corpses that you saw for people to find. I will make sure my gods are on that immediately to make sure that doesn't happen. But will you aid me? I will tell you this right now. Without a doubt, they know your faces. They're going to come after you anyway. I would rather you A, work for me so I can help protect you in the advent of that happening. And B, you have experience seeing what this is. You know where to look or what to find. Hopefully. I guarantee you it will be worth your time. I'm a lord after all. I can give you almost anything in my power. If that is your
I'm excited
motivation.
about this.
Well, I guess since we delivered our little package here, my schedule's freed up. I suppose, because yeah, if I'm gonna be spending the rest of my days watching over my back, then yeah, let's do this thing.
Flix is mostly just observing everything. I mean, at this point, seeing what's happening, he knows that having to watch his back constantly is probably not the best idea. He's not going to admit it openly, though, that maybe he will stick around. He doesn't need a spell slinger frying his hair. Not happening. How about you, Dacian?
Like I said, Dacian's kind of like looking between Leonard and then looking at the others, just thinking this over, like, not what I wanted.
Leonard does look at you almost pleadingly, Dacian. Like, you don't have to, I know. But there's nothing I can do if they come for you, and I cannot protect you.
I have to wonder what's more dangerous, though. Them, or just kind of looks at the others.
Would you rather a group of people who are out to enslave or destroy your soul, or some outsiders? These people are trying to destroy this entire place. And whatever they're doing is working. We need to stop it.
Whatever they're doing, is it actually messing with the winds of magic around here?
That's what we need to find out. Right now, we don't know. They have the element of the unknown on their side.
Hmm.
The problem is that the reason why it hasn't been looked into recently, ever since it started happening, is because, unlike me, some of the other lords are more passive. They think it will pass over, that it's nothing for them to worry about, that there's other means that their attention needs to be drawn to. I don't believe that. I believe that this is a threat that needs to be focused on immediately. But I'm alone in that. And I've been able to do anything.
Rose just kind of...
If it's any consolation, I know where we might be able to start, but again, I know you need your rest. No, you may not
Sleep it
be able
over.
to. Well, I can give you room and board here, but I do have a shortcut back to the tavern, if you have need of that instead.
I would personally prefer the tavern, if just because, no offense, fur does not do well with heat.
I apologize for that. I do try to make this place as outsider friendly as possible,
Oh,
but
it's...
there is only so much I can do.
I mean, what are we to expect in a place called the Plane of Fire? So,
Yeah, yes.
it's nothing against you.
Speaking of that, your lordship, it might be prudent to, points over to Various and Tibbs. If the intentions are to go back over to the Commons, they might want a sigil stone. Just, on the off chance.
Lana does kind of smile. It's like, that will not be an issue. I will send word, and someone will come to help them with that, but the means I have lead directly to the tavern. They will not have to worry about traveling back through.
We appreciate that.
But please, all of you, I would appreciate if you mull over what I have said if you want to help. The fate of the plains itself may very well hinge on your aid. I will give you time to mull it over, but I will need to know as soon as possible if you want to aid me. If not, then I'll try to find someone else.
Tiberius is going to say right then and there, I'll help. Sounds like fun.
What will the rest of you say?
Various will look over at Tiberius, sigh a little bit at his forwardness, but then he'll need someone to keep him out of trouble. At least try to. I'll
What?
aid as well.
What have you wished? I will hereby dismiss you from my service. You may do as you wish, but what do you wish to do with this? Will you aid me? Will you aid the Plains Bowl? Will you go your separate way?
Roche just kind of stares at Leonard for a moment there, and is just kind of doing their thing they're used to by now, where they're just like completely frozen in place, just kind of this completely blank expression, and then I'm in.
And he'll nod. Flicks kind of shrugs. It's like, well, I mean, Jericho would probably kick me in the ass and tell me to do it anyway, so I guess I'm in. And then he'll look at Mouse and Dacian. Do you need time to mull it over, or?
As much as I feel for your plight, I do need time to think this over, especially given last few circumstances.
I understand. Please let me know as soon as possible, then. I'm afraid, though, if you choose not to, I cannot offer any protection. If the guild comes for you, you're on your own. Anyway. Leonard will almost take a mock breath, almost as if he's trying to collect his thoughts. He will look briefly to Tiberius and Various before he'll motion for you all to follow him. And Leonard will actually take you to one hallway, the opposite of where Prism was taken, and we'll begin to walk down it, looking back to see if you're following him.
We shall follow.
So tell me, Lemon, how long have you been the lord of this place?
How long? He seems a little shaky, as if he's mulling over his own thoughts. Well, a little less than a year, actually.
Is that common?
Well, the last Fire Lord was not exactly the wonderful person, but
Was he
my
a little hot-headed?
Leonard pauses and shakes his head. It's like, all you need to know is that he was not a benevolent despot. He was quite a bit of a tyrant.
Put a lot of people in
And
hot water?
Leonard seems to just kind of look back at you quizzically.
He's a lover of puns, I'm afraid.
I see. But no, my reign has been a little less than a year at this point. And even though that has been the case, a lot has indeed happened. I am by far, at least recently, the second youngest of the lords.
Someone's been a lord less than a year? Huh.
What'd you say you cut out?
I said someone's been a lord less than a year?
Well, the youngest belongs to the No Lord himself. The eldest is, of course, Madracht, the Matter Lord. I would recommend that you avoid him at all costs.
Good to know.
You'll know who they are. Tall, red-skinned, multiple eyes, covered in gold. It's really simple to know who they are. And he'll actually approach a door. A rather ornate-looking door, actually, made up. It seems to stand out from the rest of the hall. The rest of the hall has sort of soft, gray-colored walls that have a smooth stone texture. but this door seems to be white with golden embroidery and trim on it. And he'll kind of take a moment to look at all of you to see if you followed him.
Doing so.
hmm
Yeah,
And
following.
then he'll turn to the door and kind of give it a light knock before cracking it open. And you can actually feel cold air kind of rushing in to the area from the door.
Oh, thank the moons.
And then he'll kind of seem to be looking inside before opening the door for all of you and holding it open. And inside looks to be one of the tavern rooms from Auntie's Tavern, but much larger than it might have originally probably been. I'll actually switch over to.
It's bigger on the inside.
You'll kind of hold it open for all of you. Oh, I just need tavern ambience.
But I'm understanding that there's a bar.
Not in this room. It looks. Hold on. I gotta do something real quick.
That's an awful loud stew you have going there, Auntie.
Actually, as you pass through the door, it looks to be an actual tavern room. There's a large circular table in the center, surrounded by several chairs. There's several rooms branched off from this central room, and there is a figure sitting at the table. This figure is clad in white with gold trim, with a bright red cape, and almost a stone-like looking appearance. They do acknowledge Leonard, but they seem to be quiet as you all enter the room.
I say, who's this?
Leonard will look at you and it's like, a friend. You need not worry yourself about this. They're just going to be passing through, if that's all right. The figure gives a nod of its head.
Mm,
Does this friend have a name?
That's not important.
Ooh.
What do you guys want to do?
Various looks around, but knows better than to ask too many questions when somebody's who's in charge is not sharing.
Tiberius, as you kind of get close to the figure, they don't seem to pay you much mind. They just seem to be reading a book in front of them. Just kind of reclined back, feet on the table, book in hand. It's not a name you can read. It seems to be in a language that's alien to you.
Can Various read this?
Does he know Primordial?
Yes.
You can. It says Arcanum Infinium by Amadeus. That's what the cover says.
He keeps this to himself for now.
Okay. Rose, Dacian, what are you guys doing?
Rose just glances around as they stepped into the tavern room. Oh. Alright, well this place at least isn't any worse for wear. Where's Auntie?
The figure will look up at you, and he speaks without actually moving a mouth. You actually see this figure doesn't even have a mouth. He's like, downstairs as always.
Alright, thanks.
You're up in the living quarters after all.
Oh. Don't think I've ever been up here. It's pretty swank.
Tiberius, actually, if you go check your paws, they're not frostbitten. They're actually a little red from walking on literally hot ground. So they're a little toasty.
Oh, he means his hand, probably.
Oh,
That the
Yep.
spell.
Then in that
oh
one.
okay. No, you're fine. There are other figures kind of watching you from the other rooms. You do recognize one of them as the person that had you look after Prism. She's kind of peering at you from one of the side rooms, and there's many animals around her. There's a little bird, looks like a dragon. There's a multi-light cat, and some other things in there. But none of them seem to be paying you much mind aside from watching you. Kind of like how when someone enters the room, anyone who's already there kind of watches the person. That's what they're doing.
Get the distinct feeling that they don't want us in here for very long.
I mean, we're not.
The magic in the room, Tiberius, the magic in here is much, much weirder than any you've seen. It seems almost too bright, like you're staring into a light. Rose and Dacian, you actually notice that these creatures, you don't know if they're primordials or not, though you can judge from the eyes of at least the one figure that they are. They feel alien. They feel different. Like no primordial you've seen before. They kind of remind you the way your employer, she felt. In fact, that's probably why she's among these ones. But they're no element that either of you can discern. But they all seem to have the similar traits. White with gold coloration, with other colors sparsely spread between them. All looking almost statuesque. Leonard will look to all of you and kind of wish you all well before closing the door, cutting off the source of the extreme heat and letting the cold temperature of the room wash over all of you.
Mhm.
First things first, I think sitting down and catching a little bit of time to think and breathe again might be nice.
Yeah, agreed. Probably not somewhere where we're mooching off room and board, and Rose will, head towards the exit of the room.
And it's right across the way. And as you open the door, it leads out into the hallway of the tavern, which is obviously the upstairs. There's no menu around Tiberius. This is just someone's in room. So you're going to need to head out to the main hall and into the main room.
Yeah, Rose will go ahead and continue downstairs.
Alright, let me do a few things, because I gotta repurpose some tokens. A little bit.
Various has also has dismissed Bellowa.
Farewell, Fluffy.
As you guys sort of head out of the room and head down to the main floor of the tavern, you get a chance to finally breathe and finally rest. Auntie is at the bar. She's kind of cleaning up everything. And she'll actually acknowledge you as you all start coming down, like, oh, well, I guess that means a job well done.
Yeah.
Feel free to sit and relax. Gods, you look like you got in a fight with the Jabberwocky.
I wish. But yeah, you'll be relieved to know no smoking craters this day.
That's good to hear. Well, you lot get your feet up and take a load off. If you need anything, let me know.
Food, please.
Well, depends on what you want. You want meat, you want vegetables, you want bread. I got a lot of stuff.
Oh, vegetables would be wonderful, please.
All right, then. She'll look at Euros and then look over to Daisy, who's in one of the booths. Like, can I get y'all anything? Something hard, I'm
Fire
guessing.
bottle.
Got it.
Something
We'll actually move over here.
something that is dull and can kind of rewind that. Rose says, I'll have something smooth, something that can dull the senses, albeit pleasantly.
I'll see what I got. She'll actually move off to the back room. So let me set her there. And she'll start getting things ready. You guys finally have a chance to breathe, relax, and talk. So I leave the floor open to you for a little bit.
The loudest sigh. Ah, well, wasn't that fun?
Various finally just crosses his arms over the table, setting his forehead against them.
I mean, Rose almost died. Your kind can die again, can't you?
I'm right here. But yes, we can expire, except once that's it. End of the line. Game over. Zip, zero, nada.
Oh, it's quite terrifying.
I'm sorry that I wasn't able to do more about the serpent. I did what I could. He sort of looks up with one eye from underneath a floppy ear.
Well, I don't think any of us were quite expecting to run into an impure of all things today.
Would you be willing to come over here and explain what exactly that is?
Rose pushes off the toadstool stool and will slide in next to the various.
He edges over to give room in the theater of the imagination.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw that no-clip attempt.
I'm just checking to see if they properly coded the room.
We don't need speedrun strats. Not yet.
Just you wait.
Oh.
But yeah, Rose.
Alright, I'm trying to fix the map a little bit. It's, yeah, there we
it's
go.
all good. We're just joking.
I know.
Good.
It
Rose.
doesn't want to clip properly. Sorry.
But yeah, Rose will settle in, put their arms on the table, fold their hands together. Well, where do I start with this? Oh, brother.
You have a sibling?
Huh? I didn't catch that.
He
You have a
said,
sibling?
It was a figure of speech. But you see,
have those rules.
you see, when you basically come to the end of your life on whatever plane you existed on before, and you drift over here, you more or less get slotted into one of several roles, essentially. Let's say those roles for the planes, essentially. So I was a ball of fire, and Daisy in there is one that kind of embraces the essence of nothingness, more or less. But like Leonard was saying, sometimes that process doesn't go 100% accurately. And there have been times where someone will form essentially as a primordial, but not quite intact. It's kind of like sending a message, except en route the message kind of gets garbled up, and what comes out on the other end is incomprehensible and, well, also quite deadly.
This is... It makes sense.
What doesn't entirely make sense is usually that's just something that happens of its own accord, like a 1 in a billion chance. That you aren't supposed to make a mistake like that happen at will.
It... If I had to give my own opinion, it almost looked like the formation of an eidolon. But that may just be my own biases coming into play.
Would Rose know what an eidolon is? Nova? Okay, I'll just remind you when they come back. But Rose, for the moment, will nod over and then kind of take a breath for effect there. Leonard... Okay, look, I'm not here to force anyone's hand. I'm just gonna say it as it is. Leonard was right back there. These people that he's talking about. They are the real deal. I'm honestly not quite sure how I come to know this exactly, but this guild is indeed bad news. They've had a bit of a habit of doing very, very odd experiments. Usually along the kinds of creating all sorts of entropy, like, oh, I don't know, destabilizing planar magic. Like,
as you talk about this, Auntie actually returns from the back room. So let me put her up. And she'll kind of move over to all of you. What layer am I on? There we go. And she's got a plate in one hand, and she sets it in front of Various. And it's full of all kinds. It's full of steamed vegetables, things that you would probably recognize as carrots, broccoli, sweet potato, etc., with some slices of toasted bread on the side. She then sets what looks to be a black bottle in front of Rose. Looks like some sort of beer, but there's no label on it. She'll then head down to Dacian, and she actually has a plate as well as 2 bottles in hand. She's juggling a lot in her arms. She sets the plate down and looks to be a plate of danishes, fruit danishes.
Oh.
And the 2 bottles look to be wine, and she'll set those in front of you. And she'll look at all of you. It's like, if any of y'all need anything, just let me know. And she'll actually take another bottle she had under her apron and leave it off at Flix's table before heading back to the bar.
As she walks back past her, anywhere close enough to Mouse, he literally perks up and just starts eagerly waving and saying thank you. Before yanking a
Anytime.
Danish off the plate.
They're actually quite nice danishes. They have a nice flaky crust with a fruit filling. There's also a sweet cheese on them, so it gives them a nice, almost candy taste to them. So, very tasty.
He almost exploded. He needs a victory meal for surviving.
And there's like 4 or 5 of them on the plate. And they're about as big as him. So they're pretty large.
House has died again and gone to heaven.
And the wine Dacian, actually, you can tell is a red wine.
Oh,
It does say with a little note on them. It's like had our mutual friend find these. We'll try to find more.
Now, East had a
Pockets of-
question.
Of course.
Yeah, what Various brought up to Rose, what was it, a Iridian or whatever?
Eidolon.
Eidolon. Would Rose know what that is?
You've heard of what an eidolon is? You've heard of many fae using things like this? That they're sort of like creations of magic? But it's hard to pinpoint where exactly or what exactly it might have meant because there's many uses of the word. But you kind of get the idea that it means a summoned creature.
Yeah, and it was, yeah, I
Daisy,
think...
overhearing this, knows exactly what an eidolon is. In fact, she'll probably be like, oh, like those carbuncle things.
Yeah, and it was brought up when Rose was discussing the impure, so I think that was along those lines.
Yeah. But Daisy, overhearing him, you do know what a summon is? So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he used to actually do them himself, so...
Yep. But yeah. You can go ahead and add a bottle of red wine to your inventory if you like, if you are going to drink one of them.
Well, we'll see how much he drinks.
Yeah, but the note says that these are from our mutual friend, from Auntie.
But yeah, focusing back on Various then, Rose just... Well, Rose looks between Various and Tiff since they're both at the same table there. But yeah, essentially just bad news in general. And they have, if you'll pardon the turn of phrase, have a sort of a hate boner for primordials and anyone who associates themselves with them.
Various pauses and it gives Tiberius a faint glare, but does reach over to grab something off his plate and looks up at Rose and sighs. It's interesting to put a name to a face, then. I'm not going to mince too many words with you, but we've encountered people dressed that way. We just weren't exactly aware of their associations or such beyond the obvious that were before us.
I take it that you've not exactly had the most admirable relationship with this kind before.
Various looks to Tiberius and sighs and is like, it's already been quite obvious. I know. Just know they're not friends of ours now. And
By the moons, no, they tried to kill us.
that is true, yes. Sacrifice, actually. That was fun. He snorts and sighs, and you can hear his foot tapping underneath the table. And know that was unaware of the situation that occurred.
I mean, the fact that your sister was alive.
Well, yes, that's essentially it. Yes, I didn't realize she was so.
You kind of see
Wonderful.
Auntie on the edge of the bar. She's kind of watching all of you, listening in.
Delicious veggies, Auntie. What do I owe you for them?
It's just vegetables. They ain't cost much. You're fine. Consider it as a thank you for potentially
Juicy
stopping
gossip.
some juicy gossip, but whatever the hells you guys stopped, I suppose it's a benefit to us all. What did you run into?
Snake, I believe.
Uh,
Did we have a name?
I ain't never heard of no snakes around here.
Daisy will look over towards Auntie. Somebody decided to take a magical nightlight and shove 5 dead primordials into one giant wiggling mass of death.
Her ears draw back as she looks at Daisy, and then she kind of deadpans. Oh. Oh.
Just another night on the town.
I don't quite like that. No, glad that you took care of it. Damn. I don't like that one bit. I mean, I've heard of new formlands going a little nutso and turning into monsters, but that, ooh.
Taking actual primordials, killing them, and then using their corpses, yeah.
Yeah, that ain't something that ever happened. Oh, that's worrying. That ain't good.
Around a bite of Danish, Mouse is like, I melted its brain.
Well, good. That means it's dead. This dead abomination's the only good kind of abomination. I mean, I've heard strange stuff. I come from Wonderland and all, but that's... Ugh. Ugh. I ain't eating for this tonight.
Yeah, what a day, huh? Nothing like old 1-2 of no storm and impure just stomping up to your doorstep.
No, I've dealt with a few of them myself when exploring out in the wilds. They're never found in the cities. I mean, they kind of don't come into the cities. The gods usually take care of them. But I mean, especially here in the Foundry. Not unless one gets through one of the portals.
Auntie,
Hmm?
may I, how much would it be for a room? For one?
Well, as you probably know, currency ain't mean nothing here. It's just a case of you doing a favor for me. So tell you what, you clean up the mess after your friend there's done with his plate of vegetables, and we'll call it square.
Alright.
Burrow's cleaning it after me. I love this place.
You ain't out of the woods yet, Mr. White Ears.
Hmm?
You're gonna need a room too. I'm not sharing mine.
How about this? You sweep the floors and you get yourself a room.
Sweep?
Yes, you. Flix already has his own room. That's because, you know, his mentor works for me.
Ah,
He gets the employee discount.
I mean, your label is beneath me, but if you wish, I shall do this.
Flix kind of, you look over at him, just gives a dainty shrug as he downs whatever is in the bottle that he's drinking. The pig is, of course, standing on the table, staring into nothingness.
The eyes never truly looking in the same location.
And for
You're
Daisy
gonna
and Rose,
sweep the floor?
gonna sweep the floor. Oh my
Damn
god!
right. They're everywhere.
And stuff sugar everywhere. She looks at you and looks to Daisy and Rose. It's like, you two gonna need a room, or you guys got a place already?
I'm not particularly keen on another trudge through the commons tonight, so I will take one if you're offering.
All right. I mean, I ain't gonna make you do anything what the rabbits have to do. Primordials are a different cut of fish, after all. You kind of own this place and all.
A room would be much appreciated. I have a feeling after that Danish and probably the next one, Mouse will be in a food coma, so...
Hey, they come from a good friend down the street. Might as well.
Mouse perks up. Daisy just, I guess I'll have to ask who and where later.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. They're friendly enough sort. They don't mind whenever people are coming in to have some of their food. Should see some of the cakes, though. Probably taller than your friend there, little mouse.
Eyes as wide as saucers, glistening.
But I won't keep none of y'all. If you need anything, let me know. But otherwise, you should be able to find your rooms easily enough upstairs. She kind of waves a hand as a small little bolt of magic dissipates from the middle of her hand. You'll see him by the color. Not sure what she means by that, but she kind of goes back to cleaning the bar.
Rose looks back over to Various and Tibbs, and they will kind of hold their bottle up in a little toast to them. Well, here's to surviving your first day in the plains.
It was not fair. I mean, yes.
Yay!
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
So, once the plate is clean,
Mhm.
or is clear of veggies, Various is going to use prestidigitation on it, clean it.
You can very easily do that.
And he's going to look up to Rose and be like, I think I'm going to head up if you'll let me squeeze past.
Rose nods and kind of clears out of the way there.
Oh, there's a kitty!
Aww. Alright.
I have things I want to do.
Various, as you head upstairs, you do see that down the hall there are a total of 4 rooms lit up with small little beacons of light. Each seem to be color-coded. There's one that has a white beacon, there's one that has a red one that has purple, and the other one has a blue one.
Wonder which one's mine.
Gee, I wonder.
I
So I'm
expected black.
Roll me a perception.
all of a sudden impure in the tavern.
Oh my god.
Panic in the disco. Panic in the disco.
Okay, that's actually enough. As you kind of head to the room, you probably guess that the blue one might be yours. But as you reach the door, you kind of hear the sound of a door opening. And you kind of look down the hall toward the very end, and you see one of the doors is open. And yeah.
It's safe. Nothing bad will happen.
Well, it's like a horror film. We've separated. There's a door creaking open. You know, it's cool. It's cool.
Various pauses. And he's a little bit curious. But also, considering everything that's happened, he's a little nervous. Is there any way he can summon Belua?
Roll me a will save.
Well, that's...
Wisdom.
Yeah. Shoot. Nope.
Oh, that is a 1.
As you are reaching for your door, your hand suddenly stops. And you hear a voice in the back of your head saying, "Go to it." And you kind of find yourself compelled to back away from your door, turn toward the door that opened, and you begin to walk toward it. What do you do?
Well,
In fact, you feel as if the strange object that's in your pack is
yeah, I was about
burning right now.
at the time I was like going to. That's part of why he wanted to go to his room, was to look at it.
Roll me
He's-
another wisdom save if you plan to fight it. And you succeed. You kind of stop yourself, realizing what's going on. You give yourself a shake of the head and almost close your eyes as you're trying to knock yourself out of it. And then you turn away from the open door and quickly rush back to yours, open, and slam the door shut behind you.
So once he gets in there, he's going to start to first he's going to let me check his spells very quickly. I can't. Dang. Okay, so he's out of spell slots, so he can't do what he'd like to do, but he's going to go ahead and can he summon Bellowa?
He can.
Okay, he's going to summon Bellowa and then pour out his pack onto the bed.
And as you pour your pack out, everything comes falling off onto the desk, and you hear a little tink, tink as the silver ring falls out from it and kind of clatters to the table.
He sort of looks at it, moving around it to gently nudge it with a foot.
Nothing happens.
Can I use anything to try and discern anything about it?
Roll me an Arcana. Okay. As you're kind of mulling over this thing, you do know it's a cursed ring. I mean, it came from Diaz's shop after all.
Oh, yeah.
But the more you study it, you start to see faint etchings on the inside of it. Now, you don't know the language itself, but looking at the lettering, you do realize that it's written in a language you know as Infernal. You can't read it yourself,
Well,
but you recognize the language. You know this to be the language of demons.
okay.
Yes, Infernal is cat. But you do definitely recognize the language.
He. Oh.
Oh, baby, no.
Aww.
He slowly reaches down to look it over.
Nothing seems to be out of place now. Whatever happened must have been a fluke. Or at least that's what you seem to be telling yourself. Are you sure that's you, though?
I'm gonna use. I have Ritual Caster. Does Ritual Casting cost a slot?
It takes you 10 minutes to do.
Okay, so he's gonna start doing that for Comprehend Languages.
Okay. That'll take 10 minutes. Meanwhile, downstairs, Dacian. As you're kind of enjoying your wine, you do catch a glimpse of someone coming down from the stairs. It's a figure you know. A figure that you've met several times before and are in contact with. And it's a figure that wears almost a black and green sort of coat and has a very distinct bird-shaped mask on. And they do pause as they look at you. And then, almost ignoring Auntie or anyone else in the room, kind of strides past Rose and will come up to your booth. Well, I didn't expect to see you here anytime soon. I see you got the gift.
I did. Much appreciated, actually. Where on earth did you find them?
Well, Earth certainly is the topic of discussion these days, but sadly not Earth. There are many after all. But, well, you find that the quarry we often go after tends to bring remnants of home. So you can thank them for their contribution.
I certainly will. I have one saved for a rainy day, and I plan to enjoy this one, though, if you'd like to partake with me. You may have to fight Mouse on the Danishes, though.
He'll look down to Mouse and it's like, yes, your little fuzzy companion. Though he looks a little singed on the ends. Dear me.
Ran afoul of a large blast of fire, unfortunately.
Oh dear. From what, may I ask?
Robed figure doing who knows what to dead bodies?
The being goes quiet. What color robes?
They were white and blue, as I recall.
Ah. He goes quiet. Did it happen to look like a bird?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, wonderful. He's still alive.
No, not anymore. Well, at least if that was actually him and not some manifestation, of magic and clay.
Was there a body left over?
No, ash.
Simulacrum. It was a copy. That one's
Delightful.
been a bit of a worm when it comes down to. We've been hunting that one for a while. Good to see that they're still in the plains, however. It means we can continue hunting the bird brain.
Well, if you managed to, it would be wonderful, considering Mouse has a little bit of a sore attitude toward them.
I wouldn't blame your little friend. They are nasty. It's a good thing you got away. It would be a shame if you didn't come back at all.
Is Rose hearing any of this from where they're at?
Yes, the being is not being subtle.
Hmm.
Like, they're not talking in whispers at all. Well, it's good that you made it out alive, then. And good to know that it's still around, so I can rip its beak off.
Mouse offers a few expletives and colorful things that you could also do in his natural little tongue. Dacian merely raises an eyebrow. Well,
You're doing just fine, Tiberius. I mean, the floor's not super dusty, but there's obviously been tracks of dirt everywhere from patrons throughout the day.
Of course. But he's not doing it by hand. That's crazy talk.
Oh yeah, of course not. But the being will kind of reach over and gently pat Mouse on the head and it's like, oh, don't worry. I'm sure that's not going to be the last time you'll see it, so you'll have a chance to tear it a new one yourself, if you find it first.
disgruntled look as he pops a tiny little bite of the pastry back in his mouth. Muffled, I'm gonna shit in his shoe.
I like your attitude. A shame you weren't like us, but Void is just as close.
I mean, he has his perk, and he's been my friend for so long. I would hardly seek to change him.
Well, don't. Don't need to change nothing if there's nothing to be changed. He does kind of motion at the rest around the tavern. It's like, I know who the sparkly one is. Who are the other two?
One works for Leonard. We ran into them at the ball party. Boarfest. Whatever you wish to call it. Actually, the other one was from there as well. There was a pair of them.
That must have been the one I passed on the way down. He seemed transfixed with one of the doors. Very strange.
Perhaps their paws don't have opposable thumbs?
He kind of chuckles at this. Maybe. But the other one that works for Leonard. Curious. It's the first time I've seen him.
They're quite the interesting duo. They like to bicker. I would almost suspect them to be a married couple.
Well, I don't know the genders of rabbits and all, but sounds about right, I guess.
I mean, gender is irrelevant. You
It
can
is.
love, hate, and bicker with anyone, right?
I mean, makes sense. Still, I'm glad to see that you got the wine. I'll see if I can keep an eye out for more of them later.
I would
It
greatly
is hard
appreciate
to
it.
find. I have a feeling you might need it in the coming days. Tell me, though, was the mage alone?
No, there was another one that seemed to actually know our lop-eared and pointy-eared friend.
A second one. He kind of mulls over this for a few seconds.
That's the one that played piecemeal with the guard bodies and made the giant snake.
He falls very silent. Before buttering out so they've already begun.
Dacian takes a large swig of the wine. Yeah, it's been a night.
I'll need to pass this information along. This is not good. Thank you, Mr. Dacian, for the information. That is very interesting news. And enjoy your wine. We'll keep an eye out for more.
I'm always happy to give back in kind for such a generous gift.
Of course. And do be well. And do keep yourself safe, yes? It'd be hard pressed to lose someone more on the understanding side of the fence.
I will do my best to keep my head down, my nose clean, and Mouse's fur unsinged.
You almost feel like he's smiling at you even though he has no mouth. It's like, we all know you're not like that.
I can try.
He'll then head over to Auntie and start chatting idly with her. Tiberius and Rose, what are you two doing?
Yeah, I found a conversation.
listening.
Rose has been
Oh.
kind of just watching Tiberius, just kind of apparently just sitting at the bar, just doing like, I don't know, lazy jazz hands or something. Hey, Tibbs, that's what your friend calls you sometimes, right?
Yes.
You know, it would probably be a lot more effective doing the sweeping if you actually put your limbs into it and not just your digits.
Yes, but that would require me to do manual labor, and I can't have.
Rose just kind of gives an oddly sort of almost mischievous look at him. Oh, is that so?
Yes, quite.
Well, I would suggest, since you are being graced by good company and by the, thanks to Auntie's blessing here, I'm going to suggest that you actually sweep.
Oh, shit! Okay, so Tiberius, do a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, goody.
Oh, well. The instances come.
Oh!
This is the
that's
best
poetic.
outcome.
Tiberius, the moment he says that, you suddenly are just overwhelmingly compelled with the need to get up, you grab a broom, and start going to town on the floor.
Dacian's going to chuckle and look at Rose and just give him a fucking, thumbs up.
Auntie definitely does seem to be holding back laughter as she's talking with the bird-masked figure. Rose isn't the best tagline. But yeah, Tiberius, you were going to town on the floor for the next, let's say, Okay, what is the time? So I'm just gonna do one of these. All right, so you, for the next minute, you were going absolutely just brushing the floor down. You're getting the rugs, you're getting everything. And as the minute passes, all of a sudden, you stop. And then you look back and realize that, yeah, you just did grab a broom and sweep the floor. Your arms hurt.
Rose, I honestly suggest you never do that again.
Mouse is sitting on the table. Do it again! Do it again! Do it again!
You're like over here.
How much of the floor is left to be swept?
They look pristine. Like you were so heavily into the sweeping because of the command that the floors look spotless. Where are you going?
Yep.
Do you take the broom with you?
Yep.
Yay for trauma.
That was beautiful. Oh my god. Oh no. All right, Rose, Stacy, is there anything else you would like to do?
Jason's gonna have another sip of his wine. Probably, do about half the bottle. Make it last a little bit.
Rose looks over to Auntie. So, which room's mine again?
Why, you're gonna have the red one. Just look for the little red light above the door.
Normally, that's not the type of light I would look for at this hour, but I appreciate the gesture nonetheless.
Mouse just starts chuckling.
As for you, Mr. Dacian, it'll be the purple room. Kind of, yes, she kind of points around her shoulders, kind of mimicking his hair.
Mouse looks at Daisy and look, she knows your color.
Oh my god. Okay, you do just that. All right.
All right. Well, Rose will go ahead and nod over to Dacian and Auntie, and after a moment of strain, gives one over to the flicks and heads upstairs.
All right. Dacian, is there anything else you would like to do?
He's going to cork his wine, pick up the bottle, pick up the plate with the remaining danishes. There's probably only about, 3 left on there if there were 5. Looks at Auntie. Do you mind if I bring the plate down in the morning?
Go for it, hon.
I don't think I could dare depart him, from them at this point, and I might actually get one.
I mean, there's more where that came from. Just saying. If you want more in the middle of the night, just come talk to me.
Mouse perks up before getting scruffed and picked up on his shoulder.
All right. So you guys will be able to head up to your rooms to get yourself a nice long rest, ending your chaotic night. And with that, you will end the session here.
What about the colors?
Yeah, and what about the spell?
There's actually no real difference to the rooms, funny enough. You may have switched the colors, but the rooms are still the same. So Tibbs can have the satisfaction that he swapped the rooms, but they're still the same rooms. You'll have the satisfaction about it all.
Wow. Alright, but yeah, if that's gonna be it for the night, then yeah, I'll go ahead and also close the stream here. And
Yep.
oh, we had fun. There was laughter. There was pain. There was, I don't even know where to begin with that.
You all did reach level 3, so whenever you have time, go ahead and level yourselves up. If you need help, please let me know.
Alright, yeah, I'll go ahead and stop the stream here now then. So yeah, thank you for watching, everyone, and we'll see you all again in 2 weeks.
Fun times!